Hey guys, it's zombie time, and I've got Mike Jones from Capcom. We're sitting on the couch and taking a look at Resident Evil Operation Raccoon City. Nearly on us, and we're going to give you a sneak peek at some of the third chapter of the...
yeah, we're going to play Mission 3.
Mission 3.
Yep. Let's
jump straight into this thing.
Okay, so I'm going to play as... Actually, I'll walk you through the characters real quick. So, playing single player here. This is 4-player co-op, or you can play any combination of 1, 2, 3, 4 players. This is Spectre. He's our surveillance class. Vector's the recon class. Bertha's a medic. Four Eyes is our field scientist. She's the one that gets a little bit more control over the BOWs and has some umbrella science training. Beltway's a demo guy. He blows stuff up. Pretty straightforward. And Lupo's the team leader. She's a kind of straightforward, balanced assault class. I'm going to play as Spectre since he gets extra information on the mini-map. He gets to see where items are and also share threats on the mini-map with the team. So these are the skills here. I'm just going to unlock them all, actually. Level them up real quick, because I'm a cheater. Look, I'm getting experience. I'm getting achievements on your thing for free.
We'll use those later.
Kids don't do this at home. Nobody
That's what we're talking about, the progression system, because it is persistent across the profile, not the character.
Correct. So, yeah, so it's player-based. As you earn experience, you can spend that on weapons, abilities, for any of the characters. It doesn't just apply to the character you're using. So it's all kind of one big pot of experience. You get experience for playing co-op, you get experience for playing multiplayer, the versus modes, you get experience for killing stuff, you get experience for finding collectibles in the game, I mean, all day long. So depending however you like to play, you're always going to be getting rewards for what you're doing. We're at the abilities screen right now, and you can see there's two key types of abilities, passive and active abilities. The passive abilities, once you've unlocked them and upgraded them, they're always available to you. One of them, for example, is, like I said, Spectre's illuminate all the items on the map, so you can see where all the collectibles are, the healing items, the ammunition, the secret collectibles. Then he has 3 active abilities, which you actually have to actively use in battle, one being a threat scanner, where you can share the information on your mini-map with your teammates. Biothermal vision, where you can see the difference between zombies and humans and BOWs like quickly in the battlefield. Sonar vision, which I'm going to use today, which will allow you to see through walls and kind of see everything that's going on in the battlefield. Weapons, we got all kinds of machine gun, submachine gun, sniper rifles, shotguns, special weapons, flamethrowers, things like that. I'm going to go with a pretty straightforward USS Tactical SMG and Lightning Hawk. We also have a Samurai Edge, which is a Resident Evil throwback if you're a Resident Evil fan. You know what the Samurai Edge is. Kendo's gun shop. And also if you're playing single player, you can just choose whoever you want in your party.
Do you need to load out your team, or is there
the loadout will happen automatically, but you can choose if you want different classes in your team. For example, if you choose somebody to be if you choose Bertha on your team as a medic class, she'll automatically be able to carry more health sprays and antiviral sprays, and she'll automatically come help you if you're in trouble. If you're choosing, Four Eyes in your team, she'll automatically take over some zombies and use them to attack the other team. So they kind of do their own thing, and their loadouts are automatic, but they're all class specific. Beltway's going to have shotguns and machine guns, whereas Four Eyes will have lighter weight weapons and things like that. Actually, I'm going to choose Bertha, so hopefully she'll heal me if I get in trouble. And I'll jump right in.
Let's jump into this thing. Kill some zombies.
Yeah. So this level is going to have all kind of stuff going on. The backdrop is you met Nikolai from Resident Evil 3 in the City Hall in the previous mission, which we've shown before, and you kind of foiled his plans a little bit, so he's getting back at you in this next level. Your objective is to get an EMP supply drop from Umbrella on the roof of Raccoon City Hospital, but Nikolai comes along and booby traps the hospital and kind of tries to F with you a little bit. So he's going to rig bombs to zombies. He's putting mines all over the place, and you'll see what happens as the level unfolds here.
What's the mix of competitive to cooperative? If you're playing in a 4 physical player, whether that's online, or I'm guessing System Link is probably supported as well. What's the incentive of working together as opposed to keeping those ammo drops for yourself or picking up intel or?
Well, so first of all, the game's really hard, so it encourages you to work together to share those things, heal each other, revive each other. If you get knocked out, you can revive each other on your squad. If you hit a checkpoint, everybody automatically revives. So we try to encourage cooperative play as much as possible, although in situations where you might get infected with a zombie or something like that, we turn friendly fire on, so you're totally allowed to just shoot your teammate before they turn into a zombie if you want, and like gag their stuff. You know, take their weapons, take their pickups, things like that. So, you know, we didn't want to leave too many opportunities for grief players to just fool around with everybody and mess with people in their online games. But there's some things like that where you can kill your infected teammates. You can actually grab them and use them as a meat shield if you want. But we try to, like I said, encourage you to revive your buddies, encourage you to heal them or to cure them if they get infected. You'll actually get more experience points for stuff like that. But of course, if you're playing competitive multiplayer, then kill away. You know, yep. So this is kind of a landmark for the Resident Evil franchise. We've got a fully fledged versus multiplayer with 4 main modes and 10 maps. And they're kind of unique. They're sort of special to the Resident Evil world. And this is actually really dark. Let me jack up the gamma here and see. So we're in the Raccoon City Hospital here. And like I said, our objective is to pick up those EMPs from the supply drop on the roof here. So we got to kind of work our way through up to the roof of the hospital.
Can't have a zombie outbreak without a hospital, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's a perfect venue, right? You got doctor zombies, patient zombies, hot nurse zombies. But in this case, like I said, Nikolai has booby-trapped the hospital a la Resident Evil 3, and you've got to work your way through that. So it's not going to be a walk in the park.
Unfortunately, my client can't have him interfering with our little side project. So, I've rigged up a few toys to keep him busy.
Melee is a big part of the game. It's not purely a third-person shooter.
Yeah, something Slant 6 was really passionate about putting in the game is our CQC system. So the melee button is the B button on 360 or the circle button on PS3. And you know, if you just press the button, it's a simple, straightforward melee like any other TPS or FPS. But what we've done is made it 360, so you can actually, you know, a la Arkham Asylum or something like that, hit melee front, back, left, right, and continue to combo zombies or anybody in your vicinity. You can also do a brutal kill, which I'm doing right here, stomping that guy's face, with the A button or the X button, so the action button in the middle of comboing. So you can do that against human characters, zombies, things like that. You can also hit the ability button, the Y button, or the triangle button on PS3, to do a special ability kill, which is linked to your character class. For example, the medic class doing an ability kill will always yield a healing item from an enemy that you're using. So it kind of works for you, and it's just another sort of nuance to choosing your class. We try to make sure all our classes were differentiated and had meaning. That choice had meaning. So here's some zombies with bombs attached to them, and they're also puking on me.
Bombies, maybe.
Yeah, bombies. Hold on, Lupo's down.
Now, we're playing with AI here. We mentioned the game supports full 4-player campaign. The AI, they can hold their own for the most part.
Yeah, we try to be careful to not let them get in your way too much, and to make them do intelligent things in the field. But you can completely ignore them if you want. If you just want to blaze through and head through the game, even if they die, when you hit the next checkpoint, they'll automatically respawn with you. So, you can hang back and let them be meat shields and sort of test out the next area, which is kind of how I played Call of Duty. I just kind of let them go ahead and kill everything for me. Or if you just want to blaze ahead and be Rambo, even if they fall dead, you don't have to go babysit them or anything like that. So, I'm going to head on to the next marker. You like our little umbrella objective marker? Yeah. Ooh. Explode. So we have a few different grenade types. I'm on my regular frag grenade here, but there's flashbangs. There's also incendiary grenades. That was one of my teammates using an antiviral spray, and if you use healing items or viral spray in the vicinity of AI characters or other players, then you all get the effect, right? So you can heal people or cure their infections, and you get experience for that.
So one of the hallmarks of Operation Raccoon City seems to be breaking the Resident Evil mold.
Yeah, yes and no. I mean, we certainly have gone out on a limb with a lot of the shooter mechanics, a lot of the pace of gameplay. Obviously, playing as the bad guys is the foundation for a lot of that. But, you know, there's still things that we're very Resident Evil that if you take them away, then it kind of takes it away what Resident Evil is. So even though this is more of a run and gun TPS, you know, ammo management and resource management is still very key. You will run out of ammo very quickly if you're just playing haphazardly. You know, not having health items and not having viral sprays can become an issue, especially on some of the harder difficulties. If you don't work together, again, we were very careful to make a game that would require you to work as a team. So it's very easy to die, especially in later levels when we're throwing way more combinations of enemies at you. Oh, now I'm bleeding. That's not good. Also, scares, right? We're still trying to kind of jolt you a little bit. We're still going to try to... wow, I've got to use my first aid spray. I'm talking too much. We're still going to try to surprise you. We're still going to try to catch you off guard. So that's still in there. I mean, it wouldn't be Resident Evil if we didn't make you jump out of your socks once or twice. Also sound effects. When you pick stuff up, that Resident Evil sound effect, super awesome. I love that sound effect, so we had to make sure that was in there.
Because I think that was a concern from fans, seeing a very different Resident Evil style game where you know that you could move and shoot at the same time, and I think there was some concern this was in the same vein, but not necessarily of the same family.
Correct. Yeah. So. You know, we know that we've gone on a limb, and a lot of folks have voiced those exact concerns, right? That, you know, oh, it's not going to be Resident Evil anymore. It's not super slow-paced, creepy horror. And obviously, we have products for that as well. You know, Revelations just came out. We just announced 6. So we're trying to, you know, serve all types of Resident Evil fans. And, you know, there have been a lot of people for a long, long time talking about, oh, you know, the tank controls are so crappy, or I didn't like this aspect or that aspect. So, you know, we feel like, to a degree, we're just trying to answer fans' calls and say, hey, people have been asking about it for long enough. Let's try to make it. So, you know, we know we're going on a limb, but we've tried to make a game that we would enjoy playing and that we hope other people would enjoy playing, and we feel like fits well in the Resident Evil universe, right? It's not like we just said, oh, let's just make a TPS Resident Evil. Like, who would be a tactical sort of special forces squad to go through the Resident Evil universe? Umbrella Security Service. You know, we've tried to weave an experience that makes sense in the Resident Evil world and will satisfy fans of the, you know, story, of the canon. I'm trying not to die. I'm trying to get this first aid spray before I get killed. But the big thing, another game that you can just play co-op with your friends. I think that's something that people, including myself, really enjoyed about 5, was just being able to play with another friend. And so for this, you know, 4-player co-op, it's been a big thing for us. And I get buddies on my Facebook like every day saying, dude, let's come out, let's play co-op together. Whoa, mines.
Are there hopes then that by doing something, you know, left of center with the series, this will introduce a whole new wave of people through third-person shooter games that will then go and feed back into the kind of primary fiction, the Resident Evil we've come to know and love?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. If people like our USS Squad characters and they like the universe that we've created here and kind of how we're retraversing a little bit of Resident Evil history with a twist, you know, I would love to continue with this, but I think we'll see how Raccoon City does and let the fans speak for themselves. But it's certainly exciting. I mean, like I said, we deliberately have gone out on a limb here. We've tried a lot of new things, and we hope people will be open to it and excited about it. And so we've got some Crimson Heads here. These guys are faster, more deadly. We just ran into a mine, so help me out. Should have lost our arms.
It's actually a good point. The limb dismemberment, big part of the game.
Oh yeah. So if you are shooting zombies, in the arms and the head, obviously headshots are instant kills, of course. They wouldn't be zombies. Shooting their arms off, will limit zombie behaviors, right? They won't be able to grapple you, they won't be able to grab you, they won't be able to use some of their attacks. And, some of our other enemy types, like the hunter, lickers, things like that, the way that their AI behaves is really interesting. The hunter will single out whoever's the strongest on the map and attack them, sort of like the alpha enemy. Lickers will pick up the stragglers and strangle them and try to infect them with the T-virus with their tongue. And that becomes relevant in multiplayer as well. So if you're playing versus multiplayer and you're the guy with like 16 kills and 1 death or whatever, Hunter's coming after your ass, if it comes on the scene. So it kind of limits against people. It really kind of changes the dynamic too with our three-way combat system. So normally you have Team A and Team B and they have guns and they shoot each other. But we've got this crazy chaotic third element of zombies and BOWs and creatures and things like that. So if you're playing versus multiplayer and you're just trying to camp and, snipe people from across the map, eventually some zombies or a licker or a hunter or somebody's going to come mess with you and you're going to have to switch your game up, right? So we try to play with the TPS convention in that sense as well. So now Nikolai has shot my chopper down and he's exploded the hospital and I've got to escape a burning hospital.
Just another problem, really.
Yeah, exactly. So try to make a mad dash out of here.
Why was Slant 6 the right studio to work with? Obviously they had a huge strength in third-person shooting, but they're not the only studio out there to do that. Why were they the right fit?
A couple reasons. Number one is their online tech. Again, we wanted this to be a great multiplayer experience, both co-op and versus. And their Hexane engine and the prototype that they had made for this game when we were kind of auditioning studios to work on it was up and running faster than anybody else, more stable than anybody else. So that showed a lot of promise and built confidence in Slant 6 as a studio. And also their passion, right? I mean, right off the bat, they were making crazy concept art. They love Resident Evil over there. I mean, the games, the movies. As soon as we were talking to them about working on this title, like everybody in the studio bought Resident Evil 2 and 3 and we're playing it start to finish. And so, you can't make a great game if you don't have passion. And it was a combination of obviously their developer ability and the amount of passion they had for the franchise and working with Capcom. And so it was the right fit.
Mike, I think we're going to have to call it quits there for the moment, but obviously there's a lot more to see in Resident Evil Operation Raccoon City. A reminder for the folks at home, when is this one going to be out and which platform?
It comes out March 22nd on Xbox 360 and PS3.